The Alps, Switzerland, an unrelenting landscape of snow, ice and remote trails. It'll be here I start my e-bike adventure into the unknown. Armed with a will to explore, there was nothing more to do other than head out into the wilderness. Hello and welcome everybody. Now you might be a bit surprised to see me here on EMBN and more akin to seeing me over on GMBN, but fear not, we will get to that later. So I want to just clear things up. Now people seem to think that I don't like e-bikes and that couldn't be further from the truth. I think e-bikes are rad, I just don't ride them very much, and when I do, I generally just blast up really steep hills on it. So Steve, unable to make it unfortunately, has drafted myself in to here, Switzerland. Yep, now normally when it comes to these big epic rides, I'd reach for the normal bike because I have done many challenges and things like this over on GMBN. But here at EMBN, we're gonna mix it up. I wanna prove to you that battery powered bikes can go the distance and across multiple days and do this kind of riding. So thank you to Shimano and Kona themselves. They have supplied me with this beauty, the Kona Remote 160, where I will be taking on the Swiss Tour de Combo. Well, actually, more of a modified Tour de Combo. We'll be doing around 100 kilometers of some of Switzerland and Italy's finest, as we begin one of the greatest passes in the Alps, the Gran San Bernardo, heading towards the Glacier de Cobwebs. After this, it's on to the Col de Hautaine and Lac de Montfaucon, as we get into the Aosta Valley on day 2. Day 3 starts just above the little village of Scherer, high above Aosta, then we snake our way through the mountains. We'll aim to hit our first ever 3,000 meter plus summit at Toro Ponton, then on from there it's through the Gran Paradiso Park and onto our destination of Cone, taking in amazing views and epic single track along the way. This isn't just a normal bike ride then, no, this is a proper mountain bike ride, and for a proper mountain bike ride, I have got a guide. I have drafted in the skills of Tito Tomasi extraordinaire, who we'll touch on him a little bit later on, but for this, I'm gonna need a legit bike, so let's check it out. The Kona Remote 160 aluminium 160mm travel corner slaying machine. Now this bike is armed with 200mm rotors front and back, heavy duty thick casing tires to tackle all this gnarly Alpine rock everywhere, and of course it is a 29er front and rear as well. The geometry lends itself to this as well then, with a 64-degree head angle and a 435mm back end. Makes it perfect for slaying those turns on the way down, but also ideal for winching its way back up. Now you might have seen Chris and Steve on some lowland rides on this bike, but this, well look at it, this is a whole different ballgame. After loading up on an essential trip to the supermarket, we were in motion. Our journey started with a winding road, a transfer up the mountain to 2,000 meters, to a point just north of the Col de Cobwebs. No more than an hour in, and I was already astonished. Conditions were superb. I feel like an e-bike a lit. All the gear, got my backpack, H2O, ready for an e-bike epic. Today's quest is assured to be short but sweet. Our main objective is to climb 650 meters to reach the Cabane à Panossia, a mountain refuge that Tito promises has absolutely mind-blowing views. No way. I tried to go this way. You went full e-biker route. What's great, obviously, about this is we are entirely self-sufficient tonight. So there's no truck meeting us up there. Everything we need tonight and tomorrow is packed in our kit bags here. Yeah. So these big old Evoc backpacks that we've got have got like a down coat in them. We've got spare layers because it's going to get pretty cold tonight. Was it dropped to -2?
-2, yeah.
And look at the glacier up behind us. What's that called again, Tito?
It's a Grand Combin.
Le Grand Combin?
So it's
Say that right?
4,300 meter high. It's
wow.
a pretty big boy here.
That is a big one, isn't it? And we're going to be even closer to that later on.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You ready?
Yo. I was born ready, Tito. Straight away, this trip felt like no bike trip I've ever been on before. And aside from a little hiker bike, this was undoubtedly the best e-bike territory I've ever ridden. Unreal. We've made it. We've made it to the refuge for tonight, haven't we, man?
Yeah.
That was like quite a short day, but like a pretty tough ride.
Pretty intense.
Yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah, like e-bike like epics are still pretty full on.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I'd get up half of that on my normal bike.
Yeah, and
especially with a pack.
I think you get motivated when you see the landscape and the glacier.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I love Crocs. I do love them. Ben's a big Croc fan as well.
I prefer beer. Nah. It's full of vitamin.
Yeah, this is what you need, isn't it? Cheers, dude. Glacier de Corbassier, almost 10 kilometers long with an average width of about 1 kilometer. This monster piece of ice and rock has its roots on the north face of the Grand Combin. By morning, it dawned to me that this landscape is like nothing I have tackled before. A landscape that is so huge, so highly treacherous, certainly no place you'd want to be caught out in. Which is precisely why we called upon the experienced mountain bike and high alpine guide, Tito Tomasi, to lead the way. You are quite accustomed to the mountains, but give us a little bit of background about yourself. Where's your history in mountain biking, if you like?
Yeah, I think I started to ride the big mountains around 20 years ago.
Whoa.
And I started my first bikepacking trip when I was in art school. Then I started my mountain biking career 10 years ago. Okay. So it's been 10 years I'm a professional mountain bikers. And after doing so many trips, I got convinced by people to guide them. And I became a guide. Yeah, I'm specialized in very hardcore trips and big mountain trips. Yeah.
You're obviously quite accustomed to the e-bike life. So we've sort of tailored this route, haven't we, towards the bikes that we have and the battery life we have and things like that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about the route that we're going to be taking today.
Yeah, so that's to give you a picture of the loop is we're starting in Switzerland with the Tour de Combin and then entering the Gran Paradiso National Park.
Oh, in Italy.
In Italy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing about this route that these bikes are actually enabling us to go areas that we probably wouldn't be able to on a normal bike.
And tomorrow, we have a surprise for you. We have a nice mission. We want to do a 3,000 meter peak on an e-bike.
Oh, Tito, can't wait.
Go. Big hiker bike.
Yeah, bud. The good thing is the bikes sit nicely on the pack to take a bit of the weight. What nicer place to carry it. That's a hell of a view. Oh man, that was nuts. We made it.
Good job.
Dude, that's some hefty hiker bike going on there. pushing a bike, but luckily, engage walk mode, make life a lot easier for yourself. This bike has the Shimano E7000 motor, normally found on less expensive mountain bikes, but this one is paired up with the E7000 display up the front here and also a 504 watt-hour battery. So coming in at 2.57 kilos is the EP8, whereas coming in at 2.78 kilos is the E7000 here. Now that is mainly down to the difference in casing material. So it will be magnesium on the EP8 and aluminium on the E7000. Now another big difference is the motor on this is actually putting out 60 Newton meters of torque. Now that's actually closer to a lot of the mid-range bikes that you're seeing coming onto the market these days. Shimano then say this motor is great for riding in all conditions, and its intuitiveness and smoothness certainly does seem to prove that. Now remember, I can actually tune this motor as well, even though it's the more budget option to the EP8 on their eTube app. So actually you've got low, medium and high across all the different modes, giving you tons of options to really customize this just exactly how you want it. Remember then, Shimano do have a wide range of units to choose from, including the new Auto Shift coming very soon, paired with the Link Glide system, which I think Steve's got on his bike, should offer some insane levels of shifting, but more on that in the future. Keep your eyes peeled here on EMBN for plenty more details coming your way. Our hiker bike efforts, though, were rewarded with stunning views and a monumental 1,000 meters of descending. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We can't lose this bad boy. God. Thread in that needle. Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't want to go down there. This is how high we still are at the moment, how unpredictable it's can be. Tito's just dropped down here. And you get onto like these Via Ferrata steps and they are frozen. That is like a sheet of ice. So we're having to shimmy around the sides. Cameraman Ben's holding his own. What's up, Cameraman Ben?
Yo.
But yeah, I think we're gonna skip these death steps.
What do you think?
Not safe, maybe.
At this point, I learned firsthand that this e-bike escapade is no place for a rookie. If it wasn't giant boulder fields, huge vertical drops, or deadly ice, it was near vertical single track. It was so demanding.
Yo! Little trail side maintenance required. Rock pinged up and just clipped my disc and it's dented it. So every time it goes through the caliper, it goes ka-dunk, ka-dunk, ka-dunk. Good old bit of granite.
Tito, how many switchbacks do you think we just came down?
We did 1001.
1001
Yeah.
switchbacks. It felt like it on my arms and my hands by the end.
Switzerland's rubbish. Rubbish views, eh, Tito?
Sure, I have no idea where we are actually. Where are we, Tito?
We are above the Mauvoisin Dam.
Okay.
And we are, let's say, 700 meters under our pass.
After 5 hours of riding, we finally made our turn southwest, up a punishing 600 meters climb towards the Italian border.
Glacier de Durand. On approche de 2008 là. Magique. Hein? Oh là là. Magnifique.
We've made it! The highest point of day 2, 2,800 meters. I should say buongiorno to you over that side.
Buongiorno.
Because I'm in Switzerland and you're in Italy.
Benvenuti.
Right, so we are now descending into the Aosta Valley, correct?
Yeah, we're entering Italy now.
Beautiful.
We have a beautiful downhill.
Big long downhill, yeah?
Yeah. It's going to be good.
I know, I am looking forward to pushing this Remote 160 now to its limit. I want to hit some turns hard.
It's pretty fun in the fast bits.
Oh, come on, Tito. Let's go. This bike is planted, man.
Unreal, what an adventure this was turning out to be. The high altitudes brought freezing temperatures, a lack of oxygen and crippling hiker bikes. But I didn't mind any of it. No, not one bit, because the payoff was immense. High speed, furious 30-kilometer descent. E-biking just doesn't get any better than this. The Kona Remote 160 was the perfect tool for the job when it came to this ride. Yep, the angles really lent themselves to absolutely hammering flat out down the hills, whilst the short back end meant the handling in the tighter switchbacks and turns that you find in the Alps was still on point. Yet I was really starting to love this bike, really gelling with it and being able to hammer it exactly where I wanted to.
Wow,
Made it.
boom, done. Day 2 finished. And we both basically rinsed batteries good and proper, didn't we? We've got a bit of life left, but
A little bit.
32
Tiny,
miles.
tiny.
What's that, 32 miles in kilometres? That's probably like nearly 45, 50
Yeah.
day?
Yeah.
Heck of a day. 1,400 metres or so of climbing, plus the traversing. We really put these bikes through their tests and proved they can do a big old day. And we got another
Yeah.
day like it tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow is gonna be a big day too, but today was a nice day.
Yeah, Tito.
You made
Thank you
it.
for the guiding. Yeah, I tell you
Great
what,
job.
let's go grab a pizza and have a little think about
Oh, yeah.
what the day had in store.
Day 3 started with a drive up to Scherer, where we then wind up through the Parco Natural Mont de la Vie, summiting the Torre Ponton, which will be Tito's and my own first time taking an e-bike above 3,000 metres. Then on through the Gran Paradiso Park to finish down in Kona. An early start to the morning and we were greeted with the whirring of street sweepers and an ominous looking mountainside. Once fed and fueled up, we started our day in a nearby car park.
Okay, right, it is the third and final day, the Friday of our 3-day Swiss-Italian epic. Strudel de Pici.
Oh yeah?
We have all sorts. We've got cheese, so we're just making lunch actually for the day ahead, because once we're out, we are out again. So sandwich time before heading up.
Tito showed me today's route on a map. It was a big chunk of a ride.
Yeah. Big chunks.
Big chunk. E-mountain, click.
Tito, what's going on here, mate?
I killed the battery, but hopefully I attach
You got a
fresh
backup.
one in my backpack.
Oh, that's the good right there. So, as we've stopped it up the mountain whilst Tito changes the battery, it gave me a little bit of time to reflect on this e-bike lark. Because I wasn't skeptical beforehand, but I was uneducated, shall we say, I think is the best way of putting it. And I mean, you can see where we've climbed from down there on an e-bike. A lot of people would be like, well, the battery won't make it, it's too far, the bike's too heavy or whatever. And it's definitely not the case. And the E7000 motor actually was a pleasant surprise. So, some people say it's a slightly more budget motor, and it might well be, but I mean, look, it's where it's taken us. So, you pack cleverly, you take 2 batteries, you can do these huge rides. My battery's dead as well now, but we've just made it to almost the top of the pass, so it's kind of worked out perfectly. And it's over 1,000 meters of climbing I've just got on that battery, and it's solid climb. Well, we didn't cruise, it was trail the whole way up. And the good thing was it's blinking going forced eco, and I can see that on the Garmin, which is, for me, I'm a numbers guy. You're like a raw mountain man, aren't you? 3,000 meter peak shred.
After that descent, we still had some meters to drop, then one more pass to get up and over, and it would be all downhill from there. You beauty.
Savage straight lines. I'm going full straight line here, bud. 1,000. Oh. Yo!
Yeah, so since the beginning I have the bike, my goal is obviously to ride in the mountains and maximize the possibility of the three modes. So as you know, we have Eco, Trail, and Boost mode.
Yeah.
And with the eTube app, I can give different possibilities to that. So what I decided to do to save power is to have like the lowest power on Eco. I hardly use it, and sometimes I have to use it for long traverse on the road, something that doesn't demand.
So
like,
it
a lot of
uses the
energy.
minimal power.
Yeah, but then my trail mode is set up to the average. Trail is very adaptive. Like when you pedal, it gives you more. The more you pedal, the more it gives.
Yeah.
And so then the boost mode is set up for the super steep section where I want that feeling.
help as possible.
Because the boost mode is really hard to maintain on, like, let's say a normal trail.
Oh, like on the tight turns, you notice that the front picks up a bit. It's
you will lose that. Yeah.
Trail is the more manageable mode. I notice you've got obviously big rotors, big 4-pot brakes, and downhill tires, kind of proper big mountain setup.
Yeah, and then the Kolsch fork from Mizuki
of course, yeah.
is a very interesting fork. I set up the fork a tiny bit more firm than the normal one on the normal bike.
Okay.
Just because the bike is heavier.
Awesome.
So I have also the bomber hair on the back, which is considered as a gravity air shock.
Well, it seems to be doing you well, bud, because you are flying both down and up these hills, man.
Thank you very much.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, basically, I mean, I think there's like maybe 30 more meters of uphill in this climb now. And then it's just big, dreamy downwards.
Yeah. It had been a brutal ride, one that I will remember for years to come. It really brought home the wilderness that's still out there and just what can be explored on these incredible bikes. But now all that was left was a descent into civilization.
Tito, do the switch back! You watch out for the wall, I hit the rock, yeah! Wow! Look at that! Oh. Wow! Tito, third day done and dusted, man. That was so cool. Right, that has been 3 unreal days of riding in crazy locations, mate. So I can't thank you enough for guiding
Thank you so
us
much.
around. Yeah, mate.
No, it was a pleasure
Tito,
to have
it's
you.
been an absolute pleasure. I
Great
tell you what,
adventure.
when you've got views like that, going on any kind of ride is amazing. But it's not been a case of proving me wrong or anything like that when it comes to e-bikes. It's actually just further education, if you like, and I've loved every second of it. And again, thank you to Kona and Shimano for supplying some absolute primo equipment for this. It's been perfect tool for the job, isn't it?
Stoke, you like the bike?
Yeah, dude, it goes
It was
down
a
well.
great tool for those big mountains.
Yeah. Listen up, everyone. I tell you what, let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Drop us a little message. I'd like to hear what you think. And as always, a thumbs up and a subscribe goes a long way to helping us here at EMBN. But from us, for now, it's a thumbs up. We'll see you later.